Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 6th episode of Slime Taoshite. I feel like my voice cracked a little bit there, but it's fine. So, last episode we actually added a new cast member, our lovely ghost girl that I've always seen in the opening, and now that she's actually in the show itself, it's pretty great. She's a fun character, especially when she like possesses people in the way she speaks. She's a lot of fun to have around, so I'm quite glad she's part of the show now. So, let's jump into this episode and see what stuff happens. That's kind of what I'm here for, so let's do it. 3, 2, 1, play. What's happening? Okay. What happened? Is it anything like Satania's Metal Gabriel Dropout? Because that's not something to be excited about. Okay. She did do that. She beat up that wolf girl real good. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, yeah, you should just accept it if they're offering it. Oh, what a wonderful, wholesome scene. I mean, that makes sense. So we get to visit a new place. I'm sure it'll be fun. Do they look like you? Well, that's good to know. Can you give us a lecture on proper demon etiquette? That'd be appreciated. You got a little on your face. I don't know how much she was even paying attention to the conversation. Did she even chime in? I don't think she did. Everybody else was like singing out just praises, and she's just munching on food over there. Character after my own heart. You know, the hat is so big, I feel like it could just fall on her and consume her like a black hole. But yeah, cool. We're gonna, I guess, I mean, if it's demon focus, demon realm focus, that does kind of mean we get Beelzebub focus, right? Which I will gladly take. I love when she just kind of pokes me. Want to poke her. Yeah, we have that one group there, like the two fish waifu characters and person in the middle. We haven't gotten them yet. I think the only ones of importance in the opening left that we haven't met yet. Also, there's a big fish thing that we ride on. So, considering we see them with Beelzebub there in that one shot, we might meet them actually in the Demon Realm. So, that could imply a connection there, which would make sense. So yeah, we might get them this episode. Along came a Leviathan. Yeah, Leviathan, that's probably the big fishy thing they ride on. Maybe. Are you not excited about the trip? No. I really don't think it works that way. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that, would you? Please don't. That should work, unless demons are picky. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. Do we have any ghost dresses in the closet? Power of imagination? I mean, we should try... Failed. That'd be a very niche store. We could look. That's a good point. Nobody would go after that market. Definitely would not add it to my stock portfolio. I think I was aware of that much. Right, just kind of their mental image of themselves, not literal clothes. That makes sense. Are you surprised? As expected of our daughter. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Just imagine yourself looking different. I still love how she calls her that. Yeah, that's sore spot for Azusa. Hey, don't you want to look pretty for the ceremony? I mean, you're dealing with a witch, so maybe she could help a bit in that regard. I didn't even think about that. Just do a spell. I sometimes forget that she's a witch. Oh wow, that's not bad. But can you put it on? Or maybe it's for reference. You imagine it on you. Just play along. I mean, yeah, just look at those eyes and believe. Okay. At least we got her on board. Step one. Okay, dancing. Yeah, that was excellently executed. Once we get that dress on you, it'll be perfect. This is such a big, elaborate spell for putting it on an outfit. Just work, magic. That's all I ask, just work. Okay, did it work? Are you dressed for? Yep, it worked. And wow, she actually looks really good in it too. Just gotta work on your polite speech a bit for the party, but other than that, we're great. Well, ghost still. Like what? Make your chest bigger? Wow, you're not a motorcycle gang member leader. Oh, is that the big old fish flying thingy that we ride? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. And wow, yeah, now that I get a good look at it, it's big. And yep, we're on it. And even yeah, it does have the big old castle on it too. So I guess this kind of comes with it. Because I know it was there in the opening, but I didn't know if it was always there. It's kind of like a big old giant turtle with an island on its back sort of thing. It's almost kind of similar to that. Ah, that's actually a really nice room, too. Oh, wow, even... Okay. Can we live here now? Oh, someone's already here. Yeah, I think that's one of the fish waifu characters. It's... No, the pleasure is mine, I assure you, Vanya. We should definitely check closer. Yeah, just don't be in there too long, and it's fine. Yeah, she would just fall asleep in there. Not a bit. Not a bit. Oh, so she does wear clothes. Did she just say we're riding her sister? Did I read that right? But yeah, she seems pretty friendly. And don't bully her in front of the guests. I guess you can't expect too much mercy from demons. Yes, everything. I guess that is a pretty big deal. Especially for someone that's just trying to live a chill life. Yeah, that's what I'm curious about, how exactly the ceremony is gonna go. Just looks kind of derpy. So yeah, probably not something she's had before. Jeez. Yeah, I probably can't have much of it then. Yeah, good thing that didn't happen. Okay, so yeah, we are gonna use a bath. Cool. Just gotta jump from dinner to bath. Okay. Well, don't say that. That's just kind of raising a flag. Okay, I'm really worried now. I'm extremely worried now. Okay then. That looked nice. Yeah, good thing she doesn't have to worry about falling. We're even gonna get there this episode? We're already like more than halfway through. Just don't stay in there too long. Yeah, don't fall off in your sleepy state. Yeah, the scenery is gorgeous, so that's understandable. I mean, you try opening your eyes. Is she calling her Aniki? I never noticed before. Just don't get lost again. I could so imagine her just falling off of this flying mount. Is it morning time? They just rush over to wake her up. Yeah, hopefully she didn't fall off. Because I'm really worried now. Yeah, also, yeah, that's the other theory, but well, we found her. She's just like, what did I miss? Ooh, wow. That is a great capital. Are you taking notes? I'm drawing a map. What's surprising about that? You know, we're Demon Realm, of course we visit the Demon King. Like, what were you expecting? The woman has one eye. A little bit nervous. You don't want to hurt the Demon King's feelings, do you? Because, yeah. Because I assume the Demon King is a character we see near, like, Vanya in the opening, so. If that's the case, yeah, Demon King shouldn't be too scary. Ooh. That does make sense. We've come this far, don't be a baby. Yeah, that is the Demon King's chamber door. Yeah, please don't insult the king. That's a good point, too. Fingers crossed. Ooh, wow. This is such a well-designed castle. I love so much about it. I kind of want to just explore it in RPG. Oh, there she is! Get a good look at her now. I didn't know she was that tiny. I didn't get that impression in the opening. She's adorable. I'm pretty sure. I'm 50% sure that is the Demon King. Okay, 70% sure. Okay. So maybe she won't hate you. How weak are you? Probably shouldn't say that to the person that's probably the Demon King. Or off with your hand. Maybe she does. I'm so glad she's a part of this show. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. She just keeps digging. Yeah. Think we're about to realize. Don't you appreciate that? I love how she just can't go 5 minutes without screwing something up. She's probably sick now. Yeah, mind over matter and all that. She actually is kind of scary. I can almost feel the scary presence behind that smile. So, I can't call her that whole thing. I'll just call her Pequota. That's reassuring to hear. I might look at her voice actress after this. God damn it, Hulkera. Wonder if that changes things. Also, I got a Daily Lives of High School Boys flashback there. This is not how you make a good first impression with the Demon King. Life is hard for her. You know, I think we're all learning lessons here. Never bring Hulkwood anywhere important. Well, it was nice being alive, guys. And that's how we're gonna end the episode on that note. We're gonna end the episode on that note. I really didn't see that coming either. Just... I'll say it again, I'm just so glad Hulkwood is in this show. She just adds something special to it. You know, because she is kind of a comic relief character, essentially. Right? And I see some shows that have characters like that, and they just don't work well for me. They can sometimes be annoying, for sure. But not her. She's just she serves a purpose, and she serves her purpose well. That's how I would phrase it. Just there were so many just great little moments with her in the episode. All from the beginning when she was just eating to the end. You know, Flat, she's in the opening. Comparable amount to the other important girls, even though she doesn't really get much screen time. And that's what we end off on. Okay. Okay. That was the 6th episode of Slime Taoshite, right? Okay, so what was the premise of this episode? Basically, the demon realm apparently wanted to kind of give Metal a reward to Azusa for her important service of kind of dealing with, like, ending the super long history conflict between the two dragon factions, right? And I didn't think about it too much before, but that is a pretty big deal for sure, right? And that's a good as far as things to give medals for, to have like a award ceremony kind of thing for, that would qualify for sure, right? But obviously going into the demon realm, that you would, that's the kind of thing you'd be a little bit nervous about if you're not a demon, because demons are often like antagonists in fantasy shows and games and stuff, right? Like, although they didn't seem too worried, except when the notion of meeting the Demon King was brought up, then they had kind of that sort of expected reaction, but they apparently didn't mind actually going there, so I'm not sure why there was a big disconnect between those two things, right? Because once we agreed to go to the Demon Realm, I kind of, meeting up with the Demon King seemed pretty hand in hand, right? Like, I don't know what she was expecting, just some kind of demon employee that's specifically in charge of holding ceremonies like that. But you got to assume the leading person would be involved in something like that, but I guess she just didn't assume that. I'm going to let it go. It's not that big of a deal. It surprised me a little bit that she was surprised by that, is all I'm trying to say. But yeah, before we even left, I mean, we had a bit of a subplot, just getting our ghost girl to wear a nice dress, right? Because ghosts can't just take off and put on clothes like a doll or a person. It doesn't quite work that way, because as we explained, ghosts, they're not really wearing clothes. They're just, we kind of see their mental image of themselves, right? And most people generally wear clothes most of the day, right? At least in my country. They could be different in other countries, but so yeah, whatever outfit you feel most comfortable in, you wear the most, is probably what you would be a ghost in, essentially, I would imagine. So we had to deal with that. Luckily, our main character is a super powerful witch, so she got this. She got this. We got it all worked out, right? And he even had a little bit of dancing from the ghost, which I thought was pretty cute. And also the whole having like riding on her back thing, that was pretty funny. Very in line with her character. And yeah, like I kind of speculated at some point in the episode, this indeed was where we got our like fish. I call her fish wife. I don't know what she's supposed to be. She's obviously some kind of demon, but she was like blue, so I called her fish waifu, right? Her name was Varnia, something like that, right? Names in the show are hard, but it starts with a V. It ends with an A, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, we met her because we went on top of the big old Leviathan, who I guess was the other fish waifu character. They're like sisters, but I guess they, or at least one of them, can transform into this. So we just kind of rode her sister all the way to the demon realm, which is pretty cool. I mean, it actually had like a big old house, castle, mansion thingy on it, and it was actually pretty well stocked. I mean, the bedroom we had, like the VIP special bedroom, looked great. It even had a bath, which is great as long as you don't stay in it too long, right? And I like how our meeting this girl, Varnia, whatever, and she's like obviously an employee of Beelzebub, like pretty clearly, but our first time seeing her is like her slacking off. That's pretty funny. It really does give you a very specific impression of that character. Okay, it says her name here, Vanya. Yeah, I am Vanya the Leviathan. Vanya. I will try to remember that. This is definitely one of those shows that gives me name trouble. I mean, some of the names we have in the show: Halkada, Shelsha, Falfa, Laika, Flutor. There's a lot of difficult names in this show, right? A lot of those names are just not typical anime names, so the struggle is real, for sure. So that's that. And for the most part, yeah, we were just kind of enjoying our time on the ship. I keep on calling it a ship. It's not a ship though, but that's the most natural thing to call it. So I'm a little bit conflicted there, but yeah, we had a pretty good time. Delicious food, like rare, expensive food. A nice little chat between Rosalie and Halkara, which is pretty great. You know, the actual beautiful view was one of the best things about it. But yeah, just Halkara, she just wanders around middle of the night looking for a bath. I cannot imagine a worse thing to do on a flying ship kind of thing than to wander around semi-aimlessly with your eyes closed. Because I just kept imagining her falling. I know that wasn't really the impression they were trying to give. I know they were trying to bring the possibility of her melting in the bath. I know that was the main thing. I understand that. I just from my perspective, that's just kept what I kept imagining when I see her walking lost with her eyes closed on a flying ship. Falling is what comes to mind, so that's why I brought that up a lot. But that's not really what their concern was. But luckily, she did not melt. That's the good thing. And we did make it there in one piece, which is good. For sure. And the capital city itself looked great. It looked fairly typical for a, isekai kind of capital city. Walls, water around it, that sort of thing. But it looked good though, especially the castle. I love how the castle was kind of like a maze sort of interior, really trying to have video game-ish sort of logic to it, right? Because obviously Demon King castles sometimes get invaded by heroes in those kind of games, so it makes sense that you'd have defense going, right? And throughout the course of the whole episode, there was a little bit of Halkara focus because she did not want to come here. From second one to the time we got here, she did not want to come. A lot of talk about, hey, I'm going to be sick that day. A lot of that kind of stuff coming up for sure. And we just kept forcing her, right? Like, don't be such a baby. Come on, you'll be fine. Demon King is a really nice person. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Like, we had a lot of that sort of stuff, but Hakura was never really calm or relaxed about this. She was always at some point of worrying, anxiety about this experience. And as soon as we met up with the girl, like, I was pretty sure it was a Demon King. We see her in the opening. We see her with them. Like, we didn't see anyone else in here. It wouldn't make sense for just a random young girl to just be here, right? Like, what did she think was the case? Just the Demon King was patiently sitting in the chair while this was all going on, just watching from a distance? Of course that's not what happened. So once he looked over to the chair and realized nobody was in there, some gears started to turn in some heads, and we got things figured out. But it was before that was the funniest thing. Because you have Hakura that was just going on and on and on, not knowing who she was talking to, just, digging that grave. Or as Japanese would say, like, piling on, right? But just kept going. We just kept seeing her standing there with a big old smile on her face, as Hakura just keeps going. It was the best. That was probably the funniest thing in the whole episode, until she eventually realized the mistake she had made, and she goes like full Dogaza basically, and Demon King's being all kind, trying to reassure her that she's not going to execute her or anything like that. She's a benevolent Demon King. Everyone makes mistakes. Pekora, or Pekona as she called her, she's kind. And then bam, just bam, she assaults the Demon King. She's here less than 5 minutes and she attacks their leader. The best part about that was probably just what Beelzebub said about, you know what, if I knew this was going to happen, I would have just let you stay home. I don't know, I got a kick out of that too. That was really good. And now we're all just kind of being arrested for assaulting their leader, which is entirely understandable. So we're in trouble now. So yeah, next time we leave for home, I think that was a lesson we all learned today, for sure. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I really liked it. I mean, I really enjoyed the show overall, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that I enjoyed this episode. But just Hakura is the MVP, just in life, really. So, and yeah, quality Demon King's design. She almost kind of looked like the one main girl from I don't remember the Japanese name of the show. But it translated into something like, if it's for my daughter, I could defeat even a Demon King. It's something like that. A show from a few seasons ago, right? The daughter-focused show. She looks like her, right? She was also a demon, so it makes sense. But she just kind of looks like a slightly taller version of that character, somewhat. Well, yeah, so I was going to look up her voice actors, didn't I? I should probably do that before I just completely forget. So, oh yeah, Tamura Yukari. Isn't that Nanoha's voice actress, I think? Let's just scroll down the list until I recognize something. Let's see. She's in a lot of things, that's for sure. A lot of which I haven't actually watched, so it's not super helpful. Oh, she was Isami from Kiniro Mosaic. That's pretty cool. But yeah. Oh yeah, Rika. Yeah, Rika. She was Rika too from Higurashi. That's for sure. So yeah, if she's Rika, then she's definitely Nanoha from Nanoha, for sure. So yeah, I knew I recognized voice actress from somewhere. And I'm glad I now know. Yeah, because she's Nanoha/Rika. That's usually what I associate that voice with. So yeah, I feel better now that I know that. So, and yeah, she's been in a lot of things for sure. So anyway, really good episode. I enjoyed it. I love this show. Honestly, this is probably my favorite show of the season. I would probably go as far as to say that. At this point, I would be surprised if this anime season ended and something else was my favorite show. I think this is pretty much cemented in that position. So I look forward to seeing the next episode. Until then, bye-bye. Thank you for watching. And a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.